Hi everyone, how are you? This is Yvonne, founder of New You Wow, and I'm actually looking to get our distinguished guest on here with us. So excited for all of you to join. Hello, hello. Hello everybody. Hi, it's so wonderful to see all of you. And so today we are going to be celebrating all of the beautiful, beautiful accomplishments that Miss Ekin Ozlen, Distinguished LA Entrepreneur, has done. Hold on for me just a moment because I'm going to invite her into the room, everybody. Hope you all are having fantastic, beautiful days. Wishing you peace and light. And so what we're going to be talking about is her path to success, the many, many wonderful accomplishments, being in the realm of music, as well as the owner of beauty brand Keracell. And hold on for me for just a moment. She's just indicated the button to join isn't there. So Ekin, if you can hear me, it just sent out a personal invite. And so you may have to step out of the room and then come back in as a participant. But for all those who are here, hello, Willie Boy. If you could go ahead and drop me a quick note as to where you're checking in from today, what town you're in. Hope you're having an amazing Friday. Thank you, Creatively You. Thank you so much for the special hello and the love. It's so good to see you. And Ekin, my dear, if you can hear me, I am sending a special invite. Hello.
Hello, hello.
Hi, gorgeous. How are you?
I'm here, girl. I made it. I figured it out. I'm on my iPhone. My iPhone always saves me. I swear to God. Every time I
Likewise. You look stunning. How are you?
Thank you so much. Happy Friday.
Likewise, and I enjoy it. You have amazing, amazing news to share.
Yes.
So how are you feeling?
Oh my God, it's so weird. I don't even know. Like, I don't know how to feel. I feel so sensitive to everything. It's like even just knowing that you're pregnant and not really showing that much. It's such a weird place to be in because I'm sensitive to smell and my body is sensitive to touch and I'm sensitive to everything I'm eating. I'm like second guessing everything, but at the same time, I'm like, I want to start showing. Like, isn't that weird to want to be like fat? I want to be like the belly. And I
Not
want
at all. You want to celebrate that life in you, girl. That's great.
Yes, totally. But I'm so excited, and I was really excited to do this today. And you know, it's the first time that I'm really like getting out there in the public and really talking about this. So it's really, really special to me. Thank you for having me. Seriously.
Listen, it is such an honor to have you here. And you know, it's one thing to have a story of success, but to know that you're actually going to be able to share that, pay it forward, create a new legacy because you've got little life inside of you. That must be so exciting.
I'm elated. Like my husband's
Beautiful.
elated. I mean, this has been a big, you know, it's been a big challenge for us. And I've documented that on my story on my Instagram.
Wonderful.
And I've done that, you know, sort of to try to be a vessel for anyone who's struggling with infertility because I had no idea that this was going to be our situation. I mean,
wow.
You know, it just kind of hit us, blindsided us really. And so it's been a year of back-to-back egg retrievals and, you know, failed IUI. And so I did 3 egg retrievals and then finally a transfer. And I have to thank Dr. Suri at Southern California Reproductive Center. I have to give a shout out to them and all the nurses and my acupuncturist, which is so important with IVF. Anyone that's doing IVF, you've got to do acupuncture. It's so important.
Got it.
I'm learning so much about my body. I mean, it's things that I just never really thought about before, you know.
Wonderful.
And that's the coolest part about this, is just continually evolving and learning, you know, all things about ingredients that I didn't know. And I own a beauty brand. I mean, I know a lot about, you know, what should not be and what should be in products. And a lot of the things, even today, I went to use and I was like, oh my God, this is like full of.
It changes everything.
Yeah. And I just couldn't believe some of the products that I use every day that aren't good. So,
oh, wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's been really cool. And just nutritionally, you know, learning about all of the foods. And I'm going to miss sushi, I have to say.
It's okay. It's just temporary.
And caffeine, like I'm not drinking any coffee. I mean,
wow.
It's pretty, I've really, really changed my way of life right now.
Okay.
So it's, no wine, no alcohol. I mean, that's a huge deal for me.
That is huge.
I don't know why I didn't mention that first. Like, if anybody knows me, they know that, like, you always see me with my dogs and a glass of wine. So,
well, we celebrate the fact that you're open to sharing your journey, because you're right. The learnings that others can take from you, if you can bless them with that positivity, the message alone, not to give up, I think was so instrumental.
Thank you. I don't want to cry. Yeah.
No, this is all happy, and any tears that come out, tears of joy. So thank you. So, you know, first of all, we are honored to have you here. You know, again, for those that are just joining, we thank you for taking time out of your schedules. It is so special that you're here with Ekin Ozlen, our distinguished guest. And typically, as the founder of New UL, my focus is on helping very driven entrepreneurs crush fear, crush anxiety, and become unstoppable. And so this is why it was such an honor to have you come through and speak to exactly how you've done so over years. And you know, the perseverance element is huge too. So given that you really don't need any introduction, we're going to ask you, first of all, can you share something with us that most people do not know, a hidden gem?
Well, I'm like a cat. I have 9 lives. So I'm a lot older than I look, and that's totally just a function of my fabulous skincare and hair care brand. But really, you know, getting pregnant right now has kind of made me look back at my life and go, wow, like I've really lived a lot of different lives. And for me to be able to finally kind of make sense of it all through the birth of a baby, it's kind of like all of the stuff that I go through. You know, I've always had like a ridiculously maternal instinct. I mean, and I knew that I would be an incredible mom. That was never something that I ever questioned. And I always thought that I would have many children. You know, I saw myself that way. As much of an artist as I am, as much of a business person as I am, I always saw myself as a mother and as a wife first.
Beautiful.
And it's a lot, you know, it's hard to balance all that and to be good at all those things simultaneously. And I've not perfected that skill by any stretch of the imagination, but, you know, exercise just continues bettering that quality. And I hope that, you know, I make my husband proud and my family proud. And I think when you talk about perseverance and just kind of like pushing forward, right now I started thinking about my business and like what I would leave, you know, and I've never thought about my business. I've never attacked that thought process from that angle. I always thought like, I want to be ridiculously successful. You know, I want to blow this brand up. I want this to be a household name because it's that good and because it can help so many people with their hair loss and their skincare conditions. And, you know, it's such a confusing market out there and people don't know really what to trust anymore. And that's a big, huge element, you know, to my business. But just coming back to your perseverance point, it's like, just powering through and keeping true to that thing that drives you and never really letting up from that. I think that has been my guiding principle for sure. Like all the iterations, all the loss that I've had, and it's been a lot. You know, I came here from New York City. Prior to that, you know, I was not born in the States. So it's been a lot of changes in my life, And I feel super stable now, and my business has really helped with that.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. In fact, I was going to ask, since you wear so many hats, and I'm sure your ventures require that you give of yourself constantly.
Totally.
What is it that you do when you feel like you're running on empty? How do you reset? You mentioned exercise. What else do you have?
Yeah, it used to be wine. No, just kidding. No, I have horses, and
Oh, lovely.
they are my absolute lifeline. There's
Beautiful.
nothing better in my life when it comes to de-stressing me than just getting on their backs and cantering around. You know, it's like there's something just so peaceful about it, and it really centers me.
Beautiful.
And I'm a little worried right now because I've done this thing forever. And to not be able to ride them while I'm pregnant right now scares the living daylights out of me, because I don't know how I will now handle stress.
Got it. Got it. Well, you know, the best thing I can tell you, because it's all about diffusing. So you struck it on the head when you said when you're on them, you feel so peaceful. So if you can seek an alternative that's going to bring you that peace and weather the storm, because the next 9 months, I know you're going to have some hormones raging.
I know.
But, you know, thinking ahead, clearly you're a visionary. You're able to keep focused on the goal. So thinking ahead to having a little Boris in your arms and knowing that whatever comes, it's going to be so worth it.
Totally.
But, you know, I'm also curious, what actually led to your decision to pursue a 3-pronged career? You started out with modeling, you went on to singing, and now you own the luxury skincare brand Keracell. That is a lot to take on. What led to that choice?
You know, I've always been obsessed with beauty. Always. I mean, I am a product junkie to the like millionth degree. I have so many products, so many bottles, so many things. I've always just been obsessed with glamour and beauty, and I think that's even why I got into the modeling industry.
Nice.
You know, I'm a very visually stimulated person. I'm into vanity. Like, you know, I've always been like this since I was a little girl. And I didn't realize that it was artistic to be this way. You know, it's like I just thought I was a girl and I liked makeup. But now I'm realizing, wow, it's so cool to see how that has really cemented my business, you know, loving this so much. So I think like I really am what I am because I really pursued what I loved as a little girl.
Nice.
You know, and whether that's competing with my horses, whether that's pursuing, you know, a beauty brand, whether that was becoming a model, you know, I would get the Victoria's Secret catalog in the mail and I would open it. You know, I lived in this little tiny surf town in Florida, and there was not a Victoria's Secret in our mall. And I was so bummed because I was obsessed, you know, with these beautiful models. It was like, oh my God, I want to be just like them. You know how little girls are.
Absolutely.
And I was obsessed with Cindy Crawford. I was like doing her workout video in the living room every day when my mom would come home from work. You know, it was like, I was one of these like funny girls, just super girly. And so I think it really all started there. My first job was actually at Merle Norman. I don't know if you know Merle Norman. It's a beauty brand, and it was a day spa. And I used to do eyebrows and pierce people's ears, and I would sell them makeup and skincare. And I was
How long were you there?
15 years old. Years. I went all the way into my freshman year of university before I moved to New York and started really modeling, you know, so seriously. But yeah, so everything that I learned was really from Merle Norman when I was like in high school. It's interesting. You know, I think that if anyone can say anything about my life, it's that I have follow through. And I think that that's a really important ingredient when it comes to finding success in something in life, not to constantly deviate. Although we love so many different things, and I do, really trying to tailor your main interests to, you know, one hand. Like, what are the things that I'm really good at? What are the things that I'm really passionate about? And what can I really make a living from? And I think that that's definitely what I've tried to do.
Agreed. Well,
and
you know, Oh, go ahead. What was that?
And that's how modeling kind of fell in my lap. It was like, you know, it was.
Well, I understand that an entire new category was made just for you at Tom Ford. How did that come about?
Yeah, at Ford Models in New York, they didn't have a body parts division until I kind of came on the scene. And
wow,
I became renowned for really body modeling. And I was doing lifestyle and commercial print, of course, and I had a commercial agency, Innovative Artists in New York, and I was going out for commercial auditions. But I became really synonymous with like back, legs, body, you know, really hands, feet. I mean, I would be like, if you go to Target and go buy their pantyhose, I'm still all over the cover of Target brand's pantyhose. That was one of the biggest clients for years. And I was a Reef Brazil model. I don't know if you guys know what that is, but it was a huge surf brand where they just show the backside with in the surf magazine. You can see it, but that's really how I started. So yeah,
I have someone here who wants to say hi really quick. I was trying to keep him off to the side.
Who is this person?
Here he goes.
I saw your dog on your Instagram, and I was like, oh my God, it's so cute.
How many do you have? 2?
I have 2.
Okay, big and small, right?
Oh yeah, I have a 90-pound beast who's laying next to me right now, and his name is Ghost.
Okay.
I'd like to see Ghost. Ghost, say hi.
Wow.
Ghosty. Yeah, so that's my baby Ghost. And then I have a miniature Yorkie named Aspen.
Aspen?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, and she's only 8 months old now. So
she's a baby.
She's so cute. It's so funny. I'm like loving having 2 complete opposites, you know? Like they couldn't be more different, really.
No, that's great. And yeah, thank you, Eric. I see you saying hi to S'mores. He's so bad. I feel guilty sometimes that I don't have a second one with him. But yeah, it's so much work but he brings so much joy. It's so worth it.
Oh yeah. I can't live without my animals. I can tell that you're the same.
Yeah, yeah. So speaking of joy, when it comes to all your great accomplishments, what would you say are you most proud of? What's brought you the most joy in your career?
In my career?
Mm-hmm.
Keracell, my brand. Yeah, because it's, you know, I'm proud of the successes that I had as a model in New York, and I'm obviously, you know, proud of my music situation. I mean, especially lately, it was really fun, like our last music video that we shot. But I think with Keracell gives me that reach to actually change someone else's life.
Beautiful.
And that's what's really fantastic about owning a brand that can really help people. You know, I mean, I had acne as a child. Mm-hmm. You know, my stepmom suffered hormonal hair loss. You know, my brother had really bad cystic acne. It's like these things are debilitating. I mean, it's traumatic. And especially in the industry that I was in, where every single imperfection is like blown up to such a degree, you know, that it makes you feel ridiculously insecure. So finding the way to really, you know, correct that for people is just the coolest thing in the world. I mean, I have like brides that call me about to get married, freaking out because they're losing their hair from stress.
And you save them.
And then they call me and they're like, oh my God, you know, my hair, it's like so thick. I've only been using this stuff for a month. I'm like, I told you, just stay on it, you know? And so, and another thing, I really can't stand companies that trap people into using the product line. That's the antithesis of what I stand for. I cannot stand when anti-hair loss products, like minoxidil-based products, you know, if you stop using the product, your hair is going to fall out. Like, that's so wrong. I mean, stuff like that is just totally, and that's why I really strive to never make people feel like their skin or hair is going to go back to how it was. You know, we're trying to get you to a point with hair loss. Beautiful. Where this might just be seasonal for you. You know, so it's just greed, really, I guess, that the companies do that, but we're not like that.
Yeah, and I was going to say, I think it speaks to your company's success, because when you're genuine and your goal is really to help, well, it speaks for itself. You know, it can't always be about the bottom line. So good for you.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
You know, I want to give a quick shout out to my hairstylist, Dee Dee. I saw her make a comment. She hates that too. She's all about the health. It's just very rare these days.
Who did my makeup and hair? Oh, look at how many people are commenting about this. I hate that too. See, it's so true. Everybody feels like, because it's so manipulative, isn't it? When it comes to beauty products, that's what I hate. So that's, I love what everyone's writing about this.
Yeah, thank you all. We love your comments, your participation. life after 40 or due to medications? And that, yeah, that's another element.
Absolutely. And even like hormonal hair loss with pregnancy, you know, and then postpartum, I mean, all of that. And then even with COVID right now, have you heard many people are experiencing hair loss after they
Yeah.
had COVID?
Yeah.
So that I can help you.
Put it out there.
Yeah,
Share the
I can
word.
help anybody. Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. You know, and speaking of the pandemic, so many people are facing new levels of fear and anxiety. What would you say has been very good for you? What's been a coping mechanism when those raw emotions wash over you?
When I start getting really stressed out and a lot of anxiety, I think for me, it's gratitude, being grateful.
Yeah.
You know, thinking about all the things in my life that I'm so grateful for. That is always the thing that kind of just like everything around me becomes white noise when I focus on that.
Yeah.
My girlfriend told me to, she's the one who told me to do that like years ago. And it's been really effective for me dealing with stress. Because I have a lot of stress. I'm kind of like an amped up person. You know, I have a lot of responsibility.
Right.
And it just continually grows. And so like today, I started just saying to myself, you know what? I'm just going to turn my phone on silent. I'm going to give myself 1 hour of self-care.
Good.
And this is something that I have never done in my life. I'm
Wow.
constantly available to everyone. I'm answering the phone at Keracell, like the 1-800 number is ringing directly to me sometimes, you know, and it's like, there's never a moment where I'm not accessible to my clients, to vendors, to, you know, manufacturing issues, whatever it is. So.
Wow. I mean, I think that's commendable because you really hit the nail on the head with disconnecting. We must be kindred spirits there because that is so hard for me.
Is it?
Because what I always think is if I don't do it now, it's going to pile up and I have to dig myself from under the hole. And
girl, what is your sign? That's exactly how I think. That's exactly how I think.
But you know, but what gets us through is realizing the power that comes from the reset. When you can step back up to the plate and confront anything because you took a minute, you know, it's so worth it. So
and breathing.
I'm proud of you. Yes, deep breathing. I also want to give a quick shout out to the makeup artist in the house. Obviously, I know Christopher is essential to your beauty. And for me, I've recently become acquainted with Iris of Liz Glam Beauties. So thank you both because, yeah, beauty is key. When you feel good, you do good. So
when you look good, you feel good. Yeah.
There you go.
So
there you go. And you know, I'm also curious if you had to put it at 3, who or what are your top 3 sources of inspiration? What keeps you going?
My husband, my mother, and my business.
Look at that. So family first.
My
and
family,
the business rocks.
Yeah. And my stepmom, both of my moms. I mean, you know, I have this fantasy that I don't know if I was like supposed to be a dude. I don't know why I think like this, but like I have this fantasy that I want to take care of my entire family. Like I want to leave a legacy. I want to set everybody up, you know? And I don't know why I feel like that, but I love doing that.
Nice.
Like that totally just drives me. Nice. Like I want to buy my mom a house. I want to buy her whatever car she wants, you know? It's like, this isn't unfamiliar. I'm sure that so many people feel like this about their family, you know, but I really let that guide me.
Excellent. And, you know, I like that you mentioned your hubby first, because the other half of you, you know, that person that completes you, that sees you at your worst, but lifts you to your best, you know, got to give them a shout out because it's so essential to know that at any given time, they're in your corner. So spouses, husbands, family, essential.
Totally. And he's really hard on me. So it's kind of good though, you know, like I need that. He doesn't take any shit from me ever, you know? So it's like, I have a lot of respect for him. He has an incredible work ethic and he's he's very brave. So.
Yeah. And you know, that energy is great because it's quintessential to feed off each other. So if one of you is in a moment of down or weak, the other can lift up. And
you've got it.
Wonderful. Very
Yeah,
nice.
thank you.
So what do you think? What's your opinion? Do you choose your calling, or does your calling choose you?
I think you choose your calling.
Hmm.
I
Nice.
believe that I have. I do believe that, you know, not to say that I don't believe in destiny in some
Hmm.
respects,
Hmm.
but I think that ultimately, you know, you are your own decider in life.
Wonderful.
You know, you you chart your own path, and there's comfort in knowing that, because then you have control over your own failure or success in that regard,
Right.
you
Right.
know? So it's like we're only here for a very short time. If I've learned anything in life that I would like to pass on to people, it's, my God, live your life to the fullest. Like, live every day like it's your last day.
Amen.
Because it may well be, you know? Just try, try, try. And then,
I can't agree with you more. When it comes to power coaching and the mindset element, sometimes we're dealt a tough hand. Bad things happen and tragedy and trauma, but you can take two people and have them in the exact same circumstances and they come out completely different. And what changed it? Their attitude. Like you mentioned, if
yes.
you find that a little thing to be grateful for and you build on that,
Yeah.
you become immensely powerful. There is no one or nothing that can stop you. So I think it's great. And, just a quick moment of, reflection. If you've heard about the tragedy here in Miami where the building collapsed,
My God.
um,
I
you
lived in
know,
Florida for many years, so
yeah, you
that
said,
really hit home. I mean,
yeah.
I know those buildings, those, you know, it
Yeah,
just
right
that,
off Collins Avenue, Surfside.
yeah, Surfside, yeah.
Yeah.
And I
So,
think that there's 4 people today confirmed, and there's 159 missing.
yeah.
Yeah,
So it's pretty much the way that you said, you know, live each day to the fullest because
right.
no one woke up expecting to see the news that 1:30 in the morning, a building that you could just look at and see was okay was not.
Yeah, a
So
place that you may call home. I mean, that I thought about, like, people putting their children to sleep. There was a shot on the news of bunk beds, and I
yeah,
just thought, it was like, oh my God, like,
yeah,
imagine you put your children to sleep, go to sleep, and this, it's just,
yeah. So definitely, making sure prayers for those that are
absolutely.
directly affected.
Yeah.
But a reminder that every day we've got, every single moment, we definitely want to take advantage of the gift and live it to the fullest. You're so right.
Without a doubt.
Um, I was also wondering, what would you say is essential to making sure that you don't give up? There's going to be those tough moments, and there's going to be even that transcend. If you said you've been on this journey personally for a year, I'm sure there were moments that you felt like letting go. What kept you going? What is it that you say to yourself that keeps you putting one foot in front of the other?
Just defining my purpose and staying true to that, you know, being really married to my purpose. Like, this is why I set out to do this. This is the purpose of my husband and I being together. I mean, I would say that to myself, like, this is what makes my life and my choices up until now, and all the things that have happened to me. This is what makes it all make sense. You know,
Mm.
this must be. And so I just kept, you know, holding on to that, I guess, idea and that vision. I
Hmm.
think it's so important, you know, that you really have that vision for what you want your life to be like. What is it that you want? I've never actually done one of these mood boards before, I think they're called, but
Hmm.
I want to do one. And
Nice.
I think I do one in my mind.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
just don't put it down, you know,
yeah.
but I mean,
No, that's a great goal. And like you said, to do it in your mind is key because the minute that you start saying that you can't, you won't. But
yeah,
when you take that and you turn it into a positive, amazing things begin to happen.
yeah.
And I think you're living the dream. You see it unfolding. You've
Thank you.
done, ultimate things and you're not done yet. So you are definitely an inspiration. So keep
Thank you
that
so
up.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. We felt very defeated, this year. So it was almost shocking when my doctor told me yesterday. It was kind of like, I hung the phone up and it was like, so does that mean I'm pregnant? Like, and then my husband's like, I think I need to hear it from the doctor. He was like, he went into shock. We were at lunch and he just kept eating his food. I'm like, Brando, I'm pregnant. It was like I said, I remember myself saying, are you going to kiss my stomach? Are you going to hug me? Like, get up, stop eating. He's such a foodie husband. But yeah, it was, it almost feels unbelievable because you've tried so hard and you've hit so many failures and bumps along the road. And you're like, it's just not going to happen. Is it going to happen? You go back and forth and you're conflicted and you're wavering. And that can be about so many things in life, success and failure, pregnancy, not pregnancy, whatever it is for you. So yeah, just keep it. Don't let go. Don't give up. Just keep going.
Agreed. And actually, I was curious because I was going to ask you when you mentioned speed bumps. When it comes to your drive on the road to success, of course, you've hit speed bumps. You've had roadblocks. Okay. Can you share any of those, any unique circumstance that you felt so amazing once you got past it?
Yeah, I mean, there's been so many things, with God, just like right now, I just shot an infomercial for my brand and we hit a speed bump with some of the technical issues with the 1-800 number. And now it's like months have been eaten up. And thanks to COVID and the pandemic, it's like everything's moving really slowly.
Yeah.
So, people are understaffed. There's personnel issues. And there's very specific types of people that know how to do this thing, and so we hit a big speed bump. And I've been so frustrated because I was, we shot this during the pandemic. I was so excited to get this on the air.
Yeah.
And it's literally slowed us down probably for about 5 months right now.
Wow.
Yeah. And every day I'm like, please let this be the day that this is actually complete. And it's kind of out of my hands, because at some point you have to pass it to other people. Yeah. And luckily this morning, it seems like we're doing good and it's on.
Yeah.
But
nice. Yes. Do you have an ETA? Do you know how much longer?
I want to say like another probably couple weeks.
Oh, wonderful. You're just getting good things from all over.
I hope so. Thank you. Okay. Yeah. So, but good. I've been trying to really keep my stress level down with the pregnancy and with trying to get pregnant. I mean, it's like, it's really bad for you, all that stress. It really,
stress is not your friend. So I know you mentioned deep breathing. Yeah. And beforehand you had the horses.
Yep.
What other means are you going to be looking for to help you control that?
Well, my mom is like a huge yoga person. Okay. So I think I need to delve into that a little bit because physically my body is not used to not being physical. Like I'm used to riding 1,000-pound animal every day, I mean, yeah. I need a high level of physical, and I don't know how that's going to work out for me right now. I'm a little worried about it, but at the same time, I'm just embracing kind of letting my body do its thing, Good. It's like, this is what we're designed for. So yeah. I'm allowing that to be.
No, I think that's fantastic. One day at a time, because you're going to discover your way. And, if you put too much pressure on yourself, well, that defeats the purpose of eliminating the stress. So it's a vicious cycle.
Totally.
Yeah. So, wow. Well, it's been such a phenomenal experience to have you here. I just want to encourage those that were able to pop in. If you get an opportunity, take advantage of the invitation to head over to newuwow.com, become a member, because by means of that, you're going to find mechanisms to help you cope and get rid of the stress, the fear, the anxiety, and know how to stand strong in your power. There is a very important question I tend to save for last, Ekin.
Oh, I'm so excited. What is it?
We're going to ask if it were possible and you could travel back in time and you had just 2 minutes to confront your younger self, what are you saying?
This is a good question. I'm saying protect yourself. Don't trust too easily. Don't be too kind. And don't let people take advantage of you.
Strong.
Yeah.
Strong.
Just be
No,
strong. Yeah.
no, that's phenomenal. Because, when we look back over the shoulder and we think about the things that are transpired as we grow, um, I always advise take that same advice and use it moving forward, because we're always in a state of children in flux, growing.
Yeah.
And if you listen
I
to
love that.
yourself, it'll just make you even bigger.
Oh, I love that. That's
Yeah.
fantastic.
So
I
can't
love
thank
that
you
question.
enough for coming.
Oh,
Oh, thank you.
it's
And
my pleasure.
you are so phenomenal. Everything you've done, and getting engaged with your story and seeing where you're heading. Just big things on the horizon. So
Thank you.
stay strong, stay positive, and anytime you want to pop in, reach
Yeah.
out. But first and foremost, take care of you and that precious bundle of joy, and know that you deserve it. You've worked so hard for it, and now it's paying off. So thank you, Ekin, for stopping in. Thank you, everyone else, for
Thank
joining
you
us.
guys.
Much
Yeah.
love and peace.
Thank you so
Bye.
much. I so appreciate it. Take care.
Thanks, you too.
Bye.